The Knicks never seem to surprise me with their play game after game, season after season. As they fall to the Raptors 126-98. This game was pretty much over before it started. This is the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit, and we're going to break down this atrocious game that the New York came to play at the Scotiabank Arena. So, to start things off, shout out to RJ Barrett. He had a decent game. Sadly, he was on a really bad team where none of his contributions really mattered to the team. I got to give credit to the Knicks. I was never really shocked that I was never concerned, I would say, when they were up 11 at the end of the first quarter. They came out to play. But the New York Knicks, if I was to make a comparison, is like a 100-meter dash sprinter. If you put that person in like a 800-meter run or anything higher than that, like they'll just eventually run out of gas and they're not the same. And the Knicks, although they have quality players like Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, Taj Gibson, Alfred Payton, who is out right now. They're all quality players, but they just don't fit as a team. And as long as they have James Dolan as an owner, they are nothing but irrelevant to the NBA. And everyone's got to stop calling them the Mecca of basketball, because that hasn't been true since I don't know how long. I'll be nice and say 2013, when Melo and Stoudemire and them took him to the playoffs and the second round against the Pacers, where they lost in 2013. Pascal Siakam, another amazing game, 31 points in 30 minutes. That's the seventh time he's done it this season within 17 games, compared to only doing it 5 times last year in a full season of 82 games. And every time he scores 30 points for this team this season, the record right now is 11-1. They set a franchise record at home with 8 games, 8-0 to start at home. And right now the record is 13-4. And they go on to play the Magic in Orlando on Friday. But they're looking real good right now. Rondé had himself a game. Chris Boucher, same thing. Terrence Davis came out guns blazing. He was firing on all cylinders at the beginning. He came out like he was the superstar of the team and started shooting bear shots at the beginning of the game. These 3 guys are hustle players, energy players. They do not give up on the defensive end, and we know that. We've seen a pretty decent sample now, and you can see what you're getting from them on a daily basis if you give them these amount of minutes. They just don't give up on any plays. And even though, like I said, the Knicks were up 11 in the beginning, no one was tripping out. Everyone was, even keel. Everyone was composed, and they just wore down the Knicks and then ended up blowing them off the court. And like I said, any Raptors fan who saw the game, no one was sweating after the first quarter. It's the Knicks, come on. Like what do you expect? We've won 33 straight games against our division rivals, which includes, like I mentioned in a previous video, the New York Knicks, the Brooklyn Nets, the Boston Celtics, and us, and then the Philadelphia 76ers, of course. Those are the 5 teams in our division. New York fans, do yourselves a favor and stop supporting your team. Like, if they're going to put this kind of product on the floor, why do you keep going? Like, you're not seeing nothing, and you're not seeing anything from them. It's one thing if they gave you effort and energy and some sort of battle on the floor against teams, and they've had a few games where they have. I'm surprised that they swept the Dallas Mavericks for the season, basically. But then again, Porzingis, for some reason, he was shook going back to New York. You could tell when he was playing. And then in Dallas, Marcus Morris, saved the day. And he's probably their best player on the floor. But he's more of an asset right now, because if the team keeps losing like this, they're probably going to trade him to a contender or something like that. Or maybe buy him out, because he's not doing anything. He's not helping the team, and the team doesn't need him. He just went there for the money, obviously, because they paid him $15 million, which is crazy to see, because they're just willing to throw out their money when they don't get those big-time players. Like when you see Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving literally walk across the street and join the Brooklyn Nets, that's got to sting, especially when you were hyping up about them coming to your team for a whole season last year and trading Porzingis for that reason specifically. I know. I mean, I'm happy to be a Raptors fan, seeing how our team is. It's like the polar opposite of what the New York Knicks bring every night. And even without Kawhi Leonard, you see our team performing, and that's what you need in an NBA team. That's what you need out of your players. And I'm happy and I'm proud to be a Toronto Raptor fan. And, you know, any fan could any team after a championship and after losing a superstar player like Kawhi Leonard could just be like, you know what, screw it. This is like our world tour type of thing. You know, like to celebrate our championship, we don't need to go hard and play because there aren't that many expectations for us because everyone's written us off. But no, what did the Raptors do? They're all have that, you know, that mentality, that, the underdog mentality, and they just go ham. They go hard, and we have so many guys that have a chip on their shoulder, and they prove it every night. And you see Fred VanVleet, without Lowry in the lineup this season, he's being a floor general. I mean, we knew he had the potential, but we didn't know how he would be without Lowry. But he's proving he can carry the team. And once Lowry's ready to hand over the keys, Fred VanVleet's ready to take them. And you can just see the on-court chemistry between those two. VanVleet, he had a nasty left-hand layup at the beginning of the game where you saw the bench players are like, oh my God. He's had a lot of plays like that where you saw like the rookie Duan Hernandez just make those oh my God reaction faces, and it's just it's priceless to watch. Oh man, we're gonna get into the stats right now, but before we do, did anyone see in the second half? I don't remember if it was the third quarter or the fourth quarter, but Wayne Ellington did this sort of nay move, a nay with like a little matrix where he almost like slipped and fell. I don't know. If you caught it, let me know in the comment section down below. It's pretty hilarious. And if you haven't caught it, watch the second half of the game and you'll probably see it. That man is a bucket for real because he had a chance to join our team last season out of the buyout market and be a part of our team and win a ring. But what did he do? He chose to go to Dwayne Casey's Pistons team and get swept by the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. So, as Charlemagne the God would say it, donkey of the day, donkey of the year goes to Wayne Ellington. Oh man. So let's get to the stats. I'm done talking about the Knickerbockers. I mean, we're gonna go through their stats, but that's about it. I'm done roasting them right now. I want to talk about the Raptors. This is their day. You know, you thought that after the Philadelphia 76ers game, they might take their foot off the gas, knowing how bad the Knicks are. But I mean, other than maybe the first quarter, I mean, I had no issue with how they played for the rest of the game. Because they did come out sluggish in the first quarter. They were missing shots. They were turning over the ball. And, yeah. So let's talk about the stats. I told you Pascal Siakam had 31 points. He had 31 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 12 of 22 from the field, 5 of 8 from the free throw line. I mean, his three-point shot's looking so beautiful right now. Like the way he's pulling up, his release is a lot faster than it was last season. And he's pulling up from the top of the arc. He used to just be a corner specialist, kind of like PJ Tucker. But now, like he's just pulling up from everywhere around the arc. And it's really fun to watch. Marc Gasol, I mean, you knew the game was over when Marc Gasol was hitting a 29-footer. Because that man's always hesitating to shoot threes. And when you see VanVleet just dish it off to him, he was basically at the logo. And at that point, I believe it was like a 23-point game. And you saw him go back to the bench and have a nice laugh with Fred VanVleet. Norman Powell didn't really have a really good game, but he had a one nice three in the second half. I believe Pascal passed him the ball. And Chris Boucher had a double-double. There were a lot of Canadians on the floor today. 2 off the New York Knicks side, and then obviously our side. We have 2 on the bench with Chris Boucher being one of them. He had 13 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point line, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Rondé, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 10 from the field, no threes as usual, and he was a positive. He had a nice 3-point play, or a couple of 3-point plays, but I believe the last one he looked at the bench and smiled and did some like sign where he put up 4 fingers. I don't know if he thought it was a 4-point play, but clearly it was a 3-point play. Malcolm Miller, I don't know with Matt Thomas out for 4 weeks with a finger injury, he can definitely fill that role if we need him to. He's a longer player, he's like 6'6", 6'7", and he can shoot the 3 lights out. You saw it today. He had like 13 points in like 14 minutes, and he shot 4 or 5 from the 3-point line, and he was 1 of 2 from the line. But yeah, he could definitely fill that role. If he could shoot like that, he's definitely going to earn some minutes. It's going to be crazy to see when Larry and Ibaka and McCaw and everyone come back and see how this team works out, because now you see how the team is, playing right now with a shorthanded team. And, now people are going to be competing for minutes because now everybody on that roster knows they can play with the best of them. And they played high competition and they came out victorious in most of the games. So, I don't know, it's kind of similar, maybe like a poor man's version of the Boston Celtics team, where you saw them in 2018, like you saw Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, the young guys show out, and then the following season Kyrie and Gordon Hayward come back, and then everything is just like all over the place because everyone's trying to figure out their role and everyone thinks they're the man. But obviously on this team, no one thinks they're the man. Everyone, I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna know where to fall in place, and once the big dogs come back, everyone knows what to do and how they can impact the game in a positive way. Top dogs, Van Vliet, he had 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 of 9 from the field goal. 5 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from the 3-point line, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Anunoby had the exact same stats in terms of points and rebounds as Boucher. He had 13 points, 12 rebounds, 5-11 from the field, and 3 of 5 from the from the 3-point line. Marc Gasol, like I said, he hit that 3, but I would probably talk more negatively about his stats, but he was throwing dimes out there, and it was the New York Knicks, like I said, so we really didn't need him. So he had 3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in 23 minutes, 1 of 3 from the field, and 1 of 3 from the 3-point line. All in all, positive game. Had nothing really bad to say except for the fact that they gave up the first quarter to the Knicks. That shouldn't have happened. They should have blew them up from the get-go. But every Raptor fan in the building and outside the building, whoever was watching around the world, knew that there was no way in hell we were going to give this game up. And no one was worried when we were down 11. We shot as a team. We shot 38%. New York Knicks shot 38% from the field. They were a team. The team field goal was 33 out of 88, and we shot 49% from the field, and their field goal was 46 out of 94. We shot 51% from the 3-point line. We tied a franchise record of 21 threes. So whoever watched the game, go get your free French fries from McDonald's, because we had, I don't know if it's 12 or 14 threes you have to get a game to get free fries, but we passed that by a huge margin. I honestly thought we were going to beat the franchise record and maybe get 22, but unfortunately the last 3 that Pons took was a miss. And that's crazy. We shot higher from the 3-point line than we did overall with 2-point range and 3-point range. 49% from the field and 51% from 3 for the whole game. Think about that. That's crazy, man. We shot 76% from the free throw line, 13 of 17, and they shot 83%, and they were 20 of 24 from the free throw line. They had 18 turnovers. We had 12. I could say we had maybe 4 or 5 turnovers there that were just careless. But, when you play the Knicks, I'm always going to keep saying this. When you play the Knicks, it don't matter because they never take advantage and get points off turnovers. They had 19 assists. We were at 26, so close to another 30-assist game, which is really, really good to see because ball movement is our key to our success along with their defense. And to see them be consistently passing the ball like that and playing that Golden State-esque type basketball where you can't really figure out who's going to score on what possession, even though we do have like a go-to scorer on our team, it's good to see. We, for once, won the rebounding in a game. We had 52 rebounds, 17 offensive rebounds. And coming into this game, the New York Knicks were supposedly a really good offensive rebounding team, but they only had 45 rebounds in total and 15 offensive rebounds. We both were tied with 4 blocks apiece for both teams. And we had 18 personal fouls and they had 17. And then you saw, I believe Julius Randle got a technical, and we scored the technical. We got the 1 point, and then we went up 43-34. All in all, pretty flawless game. Can't complain. I mean, even after the Philadelphia game, I told you guys there's no need to worry about the Knicks. We'll take care of business as usual. Whoever was scared when the Knicks were up, don't be, because the Knicks will always get in the Knicks' way, and that's always been the motto ever since Melo left. I mean, they really don't have a go-to scorer, and they just pay for talent that doesn't make any sense together. I wouldn't mind seeing Marcus Morris on the Raptors, though. I mean, he's a really good shooter. He can play solid defense, and he's a tough guy. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. The Raptors are on a tear, 13-4. Probably will go 14-4 if we take care of business with Orlando. I believe Vucevic will still be out for that game because when he got injured against us, they said he'd be out for 7 to 10 games. And, we'll see on Friday how that goes. But hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, support your boy, show your boy that love. And I'll see you back here for the Orlando post-game podcast. Till then, stay blessed and stay woke. Peace!